Yep, we're going to record the meeting for those who can't make it. We're going to put it on YouTube, so those who can't be here can see it later on at their own leisure, which is amazing stuff. So basically, on with the show. So what we're going to do tonight is we are going to be talking about how to talk to your group, which is how to make your groups look a bit more appealing and a bit more attractive to people coming in. And we're going to talk about youth forums. All right. So beginning with how to talk to your group. Got a little list of things here that I'm going to go through, all about how to talk to your group, and it's all going to start with the first bit, which is over here. Have you got a sign? Now I know it sounds a bit bizarre, but a lot of places that we go to as headquarters staff members haven't got a sign, and if they have got a sign, it's either not lit up or in such bad nick that nobody can see it. Now, if you want somebody to join you, or if you want people to join you, you have to be able to be spottable. Your sign needs to be clean, needs to be visible, needs to be well written, needs to say who you are, that sort of thing. That's all it needs to be. Next on the list is, are the contact details current? There's a number of group signs in the country that have still got contact details for Group Scout leaders that disappeared in 1980. So, if you want people to come and join you, again, make sure your contact details are up to date. It's really that simple. Next thing is the bins tidy, or is rubbish visible? So, again, is it pleasing to the eye? That sort of thing. Is it going to be looking welcoming, for want of a better word? Nobody really wants to go to a place that looks like a tip. Is it clean and tidy? You get in there, go past the kitchen to get to the main hall, or you have to go past the toilets to go to the main hall. If you can smell the toilet, or if you can smell the kitchen, it's not really very nice, and people aren't going to want to stay there. So it's just getting that sort of area tidied up, get it, fresh, clean, fresh smelling. The supermarkets do this all the time. Effectively, whenever you go to any supermarket, the first thing that you see, or the first thing that you can smell, is the fruit and veg. The reason why they do that is to trick your mind. It's all about if you can go in there and everything's clean, tidy, smelling fresh, smelling nice, you'll actually believe in the back of your head that the entire building is exactly the same way. And that's why supermarkets put fruit and veg, all those fresh things, right at the very front of the door. It's so you give a general feeling of the entire building is going to be amazing. And that's what we should do with our scout halls. Just make it all smell quite nice as they walk in. Do your toilets or drains smell? Exactly the same thing. If you can smell the toilet, it's not good. Typical example of that is that sort of toilety smell that motorway services have. It's just not a nice smell. Some scout halls have that, and it's not it's not great. Although one shocker for you, one I've discovered a little while ago, is that there's no ruling saying that you must have a toilet. I know it's bizarre, isn't it? You haven't got to have a toilet in this modern age. You don't have to have one. And I said, well, what do the beavers do? Well, they use the trees, I suppose, if you have them. But you don't have to have a toilet. I know it's weird, but that's true. But there you go. That's another story for another time. Now then, is the area that the parents waiting in welcoming? And can they see the young people through the doors and stuff like this? Well, there's a couple of things there. Most parents, they'll either drop them off and scoot, or they'll hang about in the hallway. Now, what you really want to do is to encourage parents to actually physically come in. So rather than them just hanging out in the hallway, bring them into the main hall, so you can at least have, you can chat to them, talk to them, tell them everything that you need to tell them, so they can get to know you, you can get to know them. Then a bit later on down the line, when you do want to recruit them, it's a lot easier to talk to them because it's not like you're talking to strangers. But having said that, if they do hang around in the hallway, make it welcoming. Put some flowers up. Make sure that the notice board is up to date and not having scraggly bits of paper just hanging off it. Make it neat and tidy. That sort of thing. Do you have a notice board, and does it display the fantastic activities that you provide? Again, keep it current, keep it up to date, keep it vibrant. We did a little presentation ages ago online and in the hallways on how to use Print Centre. Print Centre's ideal for this sort of thing. Get onto Print Centre, make all of your adverts and all of your flyers, all of your things that you want to announce to the group and the parents about all the amazing things that you do. Put it onto Print Centre and get it onto your notice boards. It'd be amazing. Do you have a volunteer vacancy board? It's the same thing. It's the vacancy boards. Hopefully you should have them by now in your groups. There's one vacancy board for every group within this project. Again, just go onto Print Centre and order it up. But yeah, is it concurrent? Is it up to date? You know, is it legible? All that sort of stuff. Kitchen's clean and tidy. Yes, we've done that bit. Oh yeah, the fridges, the fridge of death. When was the fridge last cleaned out? Again, a lot of scout groups, if you open up the fridge door, this fog and mist forms a fist and punches you in the nose as you open the door. It's horrible, right? Somebody somewhere will have to sort the fridge out. So again, you know, is it, you know, is somebody looking after it? It's usually somebody on the executive committee that does that, but you know, it's up to you guys really. Just hopefully it's not going to offend somebody with its smell. Is it dark in winter and do you have external lighting? Brilliant idea. Is it well lit? You know, and again, if it's well lit, is it tidy outside? It's no good lighting up the fact to the world that your place looks like a tip. So yeah, bars on the window. Does it look like a prison? We're trying to look like a scout group. I know that some areas are a bit dodgy, but there's bars and then there's bars. All right, so have a think about that one. Is it vulnerable to vandalism? How could things be improved? Again, there's fences and there's bars, but there's fences and there's fences. You know, there's ways that we can do it so it doesn't look quite so much like a prison. So, are your leaders arriving clean and tidy in the appropriate uniform for the sections that they're attending? Right, touchy subject this one. You're trying to tell somebody that they look like a tramp and to try and, you know, tidy up a bit. Generally speaking, this is like an old school way of thinking, but some of it holds up. It basically goes like this: if you look like a tramp, you start acting like one. If you look like a scout, you start acting like one. You look like a scout, feel like a scout, you start being a scout. Having said that, it's not the army, and this isn't you know, this isn't a communist state that we're in. This is scouts. We try to make things as flexible as we can, but you know, within reason. We want people to be neat and tidy. If we're doing inspections for the cubs and the scouts and whatever, it's not unreasonable really to ask the leaders to be smart if they can be. You know, depending on what activity you're going to do. But again, that's up to you guys. I'm not going to dictate to you what you shouldn't be wearing. It's all like, you know, use a bit of common sense really. All right. Do you talk to your parents when they arrive with their kids? And where do you do that? Again, it's about breaking the ice, breaking the expectations of what people think scouting is. So really for us, it's do we come across the right way? So if they've got in their mind's eye what they think scouting is, it's probably the wrong thing, which is why they don't want to talk to us. So bring them in, talk to them, get to know them, show them what we do a little bit at the start and a little bit at the end. I know that a lot of parents need to drop them off and then need to get home, but still, it doesn't take more than a couple of seconds to say hello, how are you, that sort of thing, just to break the ice a little bit and get the parents talking. Once they get talking, they'll be much more likely to sign up to us and help us when we ask them a little bit later on down the line. Are you visible in your local community, and can your premises be seen from the roads or from afar? Again, some communities don't know that you're there. They'll walk past you every day, but because the signs aren't visible, because the building doesn't outwardly say we are scouts, they just don't know you're there. If they don't know you're there, they can't come and join you. So again, it's about making it look a bit more scouty. Is your furniture clean and serviceable? Well, there you go. Can't sit on a chair if it's busted, or if the chairs are there, there's so many people stood on them as stools that nobody wants to sit on the chairs because they're dirty. It's everybody's job to clean the chairs really, keep it all neat and tidy. If we look smart, start being smart, and that's most of it. That's most of House Junior Group. It's all about taking an outsider's viewpoint of what our scout halls look like. Now then, to aid with that, I've got a bit of a rogues gallery to show you. Now then, if I could just find it over here, I did prepare it earlier. Now then, let's have a look at some. Now then, this one, brilliant scout hall. It's an amazing new build. Couldn't tell you where it is, but it's an amazing place. It looks like an office block, but in actual fact, it's a scout hall. It's clean, it's tidy, it looks amazing, it's brand new. The only thing that I could really pick a fault with is there's nothing there that says that it's scouts, but I'm assuming that's probably going to come later with a nice flagpole or something like that. It's obviously in a nice area because there's no bars on the windows, but still, it's a lovely building. And I'd love to do some scouting there. It looks amazing. Next one along. Oh dear. This one doesn't look quite as nice. Let's see if I can zoom it in. Just a touch. This is a scout hall. I know the picture's a bit grainy, but that there is a scout sign. Now then, what we said earlier about having bars and fences. Nothing wrong with the fence, but look at the state of the gate. It's a rusty mess. The windows, there's nothing there that says scouts. It's looking a bit bedraggled. It's looking a bit sad. Nothing that a lick of paint can't sort out. Get some posters in the windows, that sort of thing, and then it'd look amazing. Get some of these weeds away from the ends of the fences. Dig a board around it. It doesn't take long. You know, you can get the beavers to get that sort of thing sorted out, and it'd be amazing then. So that's that one. Next one along. My favourite. Wowzers trousers. Look at the state of this place. Now then, there's just no way I'd like to be anywhere near that building. Look at the state of the footpath. I don't know what's going on over here with the gas bottles left out and all this lot over there, but I'm glad to say, well, I'm hoping that it's none of yours. It's somewhere called Hove. But we're not going to name and shame, are we, eh? But wow, it's a horrible looking place. I wouldn't fancy that at all. But what can we do to improve it? Well, it could be painted. There's nothing to say that all this lot over here could be painted. It could easily be painted. All this lot could be cleared up. That lot could be tidied away. That lot definitely could be tidied away. Somebody can get some weed killer on this path. You know, there is stuff that we could do. Get rid of that sign and get a proper sign up. Get a flagpole up and get a flag on it. You know, there's so much we can do that says this is Scouts. At least try and paint it in the Scout colours, but blue. Well, whatever. But it's an awful looking place. Does it look welcoming? Do you want to walk in there? It looks like if you go in there, you ain't coming back out. That's the sort of place it looks. So, yeah, not a nice place at all. Hopefully none of your places look like that. Next one along. A dream building. Look at that. From the road, you could drive past that at high speed and know it's a Scout hall. It's got a flagpole. Nice great big Scout sign at the outside of it. It's a lovely looking place. Already, straight away, at the previous picture and this picture, I know which one I'd prefer to walk into. Just walking into it, not even thinking about volunteering yet, but where would you rather go? I know that we're not all posh. Some of us got more money than others. However, we can make our buildings look a lot nicer. Now then, let's have a look at the next one. Inside. Let's have a look at that. Not very much wrong with this, really. But again, the inside of it doesn't really say much about who we are. It looks to me like it's a bit of a school hall, so that we're a bit restricted about what we can do in our schools. But still, we can bring our own flags along, sail flags, that sort of thing. We can bring our own notices along on A-frames, on A-boards. You know, we can make the place look a bit more scouty while we're there. And that's what this place needs. It needs to be scoutified. It's not very scouty. This one is under construction, but already it's starting to look amazing. It just needs a bit of love, that. Once they've got some stuff on the walls, some radiators and some flags and all that sort of stuff. I keep saying flags, I like flags. But again, it's starting to look amazing. You know, we'll get there. So it's clean looking. It looks all right. Now then, let's have a look at this one. Again, it's looking a bit clinical, but it ain't too bad, really. It could be a lot better. It's a smaller building, but again, needs some flags, needs some more scouty kind of paraphernalia around the place to say that we are there. let's have a look at this one. Now that's pretty good. I like this one. It says who we are. It says Scouts. We've got a notice board up. Shame we can't see the outside of the building, but it's clean, it's tidy. It looks like a nice place to be. You know, I wouldn't mind being there. That's all right, that is. It's well lit. It looks all right. I wouldn't mind going there at all. Take a look at this one. This one, not a lot wrong with it, but I'm going to say it. Flags. There is a flagpole here in the corner, but obviously nobody's there at the moment, so there's no flag up. But it's a lovely looking building, that. It's amazing. It's quite nice. There isn't enough on there to say it's Scouts, but who's to say that there isn't a signpost down the road saying the Scouts are here? Signposts on the main road, you know, the brown signs that say other things that councils can put up, they'll do that for you if you ask them to. It might cost you a bit, but they will put the stuff up if you ask them to, saying Scout Hall that way, that sort of thing. Might be worth thinking about. That's up to you guys to arrange them, account. This one, now then, I'm not getting a good feeling about this building. Can't tell you why, but it just doesn't feel very sort of welcoming to me. It looks a bit bleak. It needs some shrubbery, some plants, some trees. I know there's trees here. It's probably the middle of winter, but still, it doesn't look quite right to me. It needs something, but I'm not an expert. It would need you guys to get together collectively, if this was your place, to stand outside of it and go, what can we do to make this place look a bit more like Scouts meet here? It just doesn't say Scouts to me. It looks like a church hall, but it doesn't say this is where the Scouts are, come and join us. It's just not very welcoming. I'm going to show you a picture of a toilet because I just like it. I love this picture. Hey, wow. This is just genius, isn't it? This is a genuine toilet in a Scout Hall. I won't say where, but it is a genuine picture where they've decided to use one of the cubicles as a storage area. I mean, why? It's the state of it. You know, is it going to make people feel welcoming? You know, it's not difficult to sort this stuff out, but it's just horrendous. And I'll show you another toilet. This one's for the Beavers and the Explorers. There we go. See, or mod cons. This isn't a genuine Scout toilet, by the way. I just thought I'd put that in there for a bit of a giggle. But yeah, toilets. Make sure they're clean and tidy if you have them. Oh, last one for the Rogues Gallery. This one. Now, to be fair, and in their defence, this is on an army camp. All right, it's one of the buildings that we were using on one of the army camps that the army gave to us some time ago. It is in use, even though it looks disused. There is an access road and a car park just along the trees there. You can just about make it out. But effectively, it's blooming awful. Again, clear some of these trees, paint it up a little bit, put some flags up. I like my flags. Put some flags up, and it could be a lot different. It could look a lot more welcoming. It's just a little bit of thought and a tiny bit of work, and some of our meeting venues could be 100% better. And then if they look better, people will feel better. People will start to come and join just because it looks a little bit more pretty. Like that one, which is my favourite one. I've no idea where this one is, but it looks brilliant. I know we can't all have places as amazing as this, but wow, it's just one of my favourites. Right, now then, what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to youth forums. That's our second subject of the night. Now then, just need to have a quick mouthful of coffee. One moment. My apologies. Right. Now then, youth forums. What are youth forums? Effectively, we're trying to be more youth-led as an organisation, as a youth organisation. We want more input from our young members, so we know which direction to go in, to be honest with you. I know we've got an amazing programme, but it's so varied and so flexible that we could pretty much do almost anything with it, within the rules, of course. So if we don't bother to ask the young members what they want or how they'd like something to be done, we stand the risk of getting it wrong. A prime example of that is my ADC for Cubs. I won't tell you what district or what county or even what region, because I don't want you to go and find the bloke. Or woman. Dropped him in here, you know. Anyway, so he did a Cubs activity day, and he sent out all the leaflets and the invites. He's 75 years old, this guy, so that narrows it down even further. And he put out this invite, and nobody turned up for the Cubs activities day, the Cubs games day. Nobody turned up, and he put out quite a scathing email about, well, to all the leaders, saying how he's disappointed in us and we should be supporting him and all this business, and basically just telling us off for not being all that great and getting the Cubs to go along. But when you looked at the email of the original invite about what the games that we were going to be playing, things like drafts and tiddlywinks, snakes and ladders, that sort of thing. Now you try and sell that as an entertaining idea to Cub Scouts today, and they'll tell you where to go. All right, and that's exactly what happened. He didn't bother to ask any Cubs what they might find entertaining for a games day. Never bothered asking. Now, we're not suggesting that you ask every week what Cubs, Scouts or Beavers or Explorers want to do. That's not what we're asking you to do. What we're asking you to do is at least hold a forum every now and again. Now, how Beavers do this, they have a log chew. So they all get together and they all have a general sort of melee about what they'd like to do. Some Beaver leaders say they narrow it down for them, give them a number of choices, but they make some choices. So they say, we're going to do one of these 4 badges. We've chosen these 4 badges. Which one do you all want to do? And they can choose. That's a forum. Cubs have a Sixers and Seconders Council. And with the Sixers and Seconders Council, then they feed that back to their section leaders, as in what they want to do, once in a blue moon. With Scouts, it's Patrol Leaders Councils. And with Explorers, it's back to being like Beavers again. It's a general sort of melee. All right. Now, all of these ideas, they feed up to, hopefully, by now you've got a District Youth Commissioner, so that the DC can find out what generally the kids want in the district, and they can start putting on district events, district activities. As well as that, the District Youth Commissioners feed up to the regional youth, the county youth commissioners. The county youth commissioners then report back to the region, and the region report back to the UK youth commissioners, such as Jags, Jay and Hannah at the top, who then speak to Wayne Bullpit and Bear and all the people at headquarters, who then start running around, beavering away, working out all the fantastic things that we could put on for you. That's how it works. So if you need some more information on that, it's a lot more in-depth, as you might imagine. If you go to the Scouts website, which looks like this, scouts.org.uk, then go to members, log yourself in, and hopefully it looks a bit like this. Then if you scroll down, you'll see, hopefully somewhere here, where on that, it shows you a whole bunch of stuff about youth-shaped scouting, why is youth involved, and it basically tells you how to hold youth forums, some best practice, best ideas, and about how to appoint, all the ideas that you can be doing it. Initially, at first, it's going to be a bit of a mess. You're going to get the same thing over and over again. So if they're not used to being asked what to do, you're going to get some silly ideas. That's fine. Go with it. It's a learning process. Let them make mistakes. That's how they learn. We're there really to mentor, to tutor, to guide. All right. So if you know they're going to make a mistake, let them just be there, ready when they fall, to catch them. Right. And then when you feed back, say, well, what went wrong on that bit? What went right? What can we change for the next time? And then they'll have a think about it. You know, it usually works best with Cub Scouts, that sort of thing. You know, they go, I don't think that was very good. Yeah, well, it was your idea. So what didn't you like about it? Well, a bit boring. Okay, so how can we do that for next time? How can we fix it? It's normally something like, we did this with my Cub Scouts. The first time we tried it, they wanted to play football. What do you want to do? Play football. Oh, okay, that's fine. So they played football. Next time we asked them, what do you want to do? Play football. Well, okay, so play football. This happened 3 or 4 times. On the 4th time, one of them said, it's a bit boring that. And then things started to change because they understood they were getting a choice. And from that, rather than playing football, one of them came up with an idea of, it was a wild idea. They threw it in there. Oh, why can't we go and see Premier football team? And nobody had an answer as to why we couldn't. So we did. We just rang up Aston Villa, said, could we come down and see your grounds with the Cub Scouts of? And they said, yeah. So we went, visited the once Premiership side of Aston Villa. They got demoted this season, but when I went, they were top flight. So yeah, we can do these things. It's all about asking them, getting their input into it, and that's what youth forums do. That's what youth representatives do. They tell you what they think is a good idea, how they'd like things to be done, and then with you, they arrange it, make it happen. So by the time they get to being explorers, they understand how things work. They understand that they've got a voice and they've got value. So that when they get to explorer age, you should be able to hopefully find somebody from explorers that would quite happily sit on some of the executive committee meetings. Now, while they can't vote, they can certainly have a voice, and they can see how the group is run, so that they can see how things work and they can start to influence things a little bit at the higher levels. And that's how things get changed. That's how things get worked out. And that goes on up and down the country from the highest to the lowest. Everybody gets involved and everything gets much, much better. It's youth shaped, it's youth led, and we'll be much better off for it. Okay, so pretty much that's it. That's all I've got for you tonight. So if anybody's got any questions, please type it into the chat bar. If you could do that now, that'd be genius. And Catherine will answer it for you. So I'll give you 5 minutes or so to start typing. If everybody's happy, just say so, and you can sign off from now. And we'll say goodbye to you. Apart from that, I'll leave this on for 5 more minutes. If the conversation gets going and people start typing, I'll leave it on for obviously a lot longer. But apart from that, I'm going to say goodbye to you all. I'm going to switch my microphone off so you can all start typing and talk to Catherine. She's very nice, so please don't be frightened of her. She's brilliant. Also joining us tonight from headquarters is Lucy, but Lucy's here to observe tonight because she's going to be doing some webinars later on as well. So yeah, I'll be on here as well. So if you do have any questions, please do feel free to speak to us for the next 5 minutes or so. And thank you for joining. Have a good evening and good night.